This is Mommying While Muslim, recorded live and unedited. Watch as Zeba and Uzma record their podcast, see their reactions, and find out for yourself what all the buzz is about.
Our trusted partner, Guidance Residential, the #1 U.S. Islamic home financing provider, is offering an exciting Ramadan special. This Ramadan, take advantage of their home purchase savings program by following 3 easy steps. Learn how to do that when you experience the guidance difference, and learn more at gr.link/Ramadan-FB-MWM-MAR23. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Mommyingwhilemuslim podcast. This is Uzma Jaffrey.
And this is Zeba Hassan. And I am so excited about these upcoming episodes. Why are we excited, Uzma?
We are going to be hopefully encouraging other people to open up their wallets, even though I'm in a decluttering, decommercializing Ramadan group. It's no, I want to buy stuff and I want to know stuff. And I want to help people curate their Eid wish lists because you don't have very much time. It seems like there's a long time before Eid, but Ramadan will be over before you know it. And then I hate scrambling that last week because you should be concentrating in the last 10 days on your worship and not, oh crap, I have to get all these gifts for these people. So pay attention this month. Maybe you'll win something free, which will be nice. Or you will know which links to go to and what products to buy. So that's why I'm excited. Is that the only reason you are?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And for me, I know you're in the West Coast, so you get a little bit of the warmth and the sun, but we're starting to see glimmers and shoots of spring coming. And with Ramadan coming and the spring and the feeling of renewal. And to your point, we're both in the same decluttering group. So I'm definitely decluttering and cleaning and getting prepared. And it just makes you feel really, really good. And for me, I got to see my boy for spring break, which is super fun. And, you don't ever, as a mom, I really feel granted, he's my first going away, but do you ever feel normal ever again when they're not under your roof? Because it feels so good when all of us are together. It's like a tangible energy. Even if we're not chit-chatting, we're all just sitting together. And so for me, I have a little bit of an extra pep in my step, and I'll be sad again when he leaves. Aww. But what about you? What have you been up to?
So y'all know I've only been in my house less than 3 years now, right? And it's subhanAllah, the roof started leaking.
Oh my God.
Kitchen. And I'm what is going on? And I know directly above me is the boys' bathroom.
Oh, shoot.
And teenage boys, you have enough issue getting them to shower.
Yes.
So I'm okay, well, maybe they're showering and the shower doesn't know what to do and it's leaking because it's oh, what is this? This is water? I don't know what to do with this.
I haven't been used.
So I call the contractor and I'm dude, what happened? My roof is, I think it's the bathroom upstairs. And they came and they're do your boys take baths and stuff? It's no, they barely take a shower. What are you talking about? After practice, soccer practice, they'll take a quick, 5-minute shower and you have to go smell their hair. And did you wash your hair?
Actually wash your hair?
Because they'll be yeah, I washed it. And they'll just kind of do the wudu over their hair. It's no, use shampoo. So in any case, there was a lot of water, Zeba. It was a good, it spread from, you've seen my, that space by the basement and then into the kitchen. It was a giant puddle, paint's coming down, water's coming down.
Gosh.
And then so last Tuesday, I told my teenager to go test it. I was go take your shower, do whatever. Cause we had told them not to use that bathroom at all.
Just in case.
And then when they went back, it starts sure as sugar, it starts leaking. So we're okay, turn the water off. And he can't because he's in the tub. So teenage boys taking bubble baths. Isn't that the most hilarious thing you ever? I don't take that many bubble baths. Once in a while if my muscles hurt.
But are you kidding? That's actually perfect. It's perfect for them. It's perfect for young athletes because of their muscles. And honestly, if they're my boys, they're going to get mad for me saying this, but part of the Eid baskets and Eid gifts are I get the Lush bubble balls, and my boys fight over them because it's it has magnesium, it changes the color of the water. They've taken more bubble baths in my bathtub than I've never, but they do, and it helps their muscles. So the teenage boy, they really, really enjoy it.
that's what he explained to me, because I started laughing. I was like, oh my God, you're taking bubble baths at your age? Like, I'm really surprised. And it was like, no, it's to recover my muscles afterwards, is what he was explaining.
Hurts.
Yeah, but because he's taller than I am. He's taller than his dad now.
So his feet are sticking out,
Yeah, or the water's overflowing because you're like filling it up too much, and then you're sitting and it's the overflow apparently is what was leaking.
Yes.
So I was like, baby boy, you need to get in mama's tub, because mama's tub is a proper like 6-foot tub. You can use that for your recovery. Don't do this one because the overflow is not going to work for somebody your size. So that is another way that tall people are discriminated against. So for everybody who like wants to be tall,
they can't become human soup. You know, that's what I call baths. Human soup.
You don't like baths because it's human soup. The rest of normal people, we love bubble baths, except for teenage boys. I will not judge teenage boys now, because now I understand it's for his soccer
and
recovery.
Honestly, what you should do, like we have a big bag of magnesium salt that we get from like Walgreens or CVS, and we have the Epsom salts. They love it. And we have, as you know, being a doctor, a magnesium deficit regardless of what your gender is. And so whenever you can get it, do it and prioritize their self.
But don't take too much magnesium, because you can fail your kidneys or get diarrhea. Yes. I don't know which is worse.
Yes, but I mean, you're like literally would be eating it, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I agree, and I think it's cute, and I'm glad they're doing it. But you know, like I'm just gonna like jump right in here, because you know I know you very well, and if you ever talk to Uzma at night, you know, if we're chit chatting, it's usually like. Our time we overlap, you know, is I'm about to go to bed and she's like still awake, but she's usually not cuddled up with her kids or her husband like other normal people is. She's cuddled up in a sweatshirt, abaya, which is probably one of her literally one of her favorite things ever. And if you have to have her pick up something at night or whatever, guess she's not going in her PJs. She's going in this abaya, right? And she's going to show up in a sweatshirt, which is hooded. She likes to pull it out, go to public. If it's anything, I think less than 70 degrees, because she is from Arizona, everybody. So she loves to wrap herself in this. And that's how I learned about these sweatshirt abayas, because she literally wears this everywhere we go, every trip. And of course, we're continuing our favorite things with Muslim moms' favorite wearables. So clothes or anything's on our body we use regularly to improve our lives. And because they are really great products, we are so excited to welcome Idayat Sambo. She's a seamstress extraordinaire. But guess what, everybody? She is a nurse by trade. So we know she can suture our clothes and our bodies if we need to. And Idayat is the founder of Cover Me Cutie. Cover Me Cutie is a Black-owned small business. She started it in 2014, making literally handmade, modest clothing for Muslims that are really cute. If you didn't guess by the amazing company name, but we also love how she likes to pay her talent forward. And we really cannot wait to talk about her. And we just heard right before the recording that she has a wait list, and I need to figure out how to get on that wait list. Uzma's going to have to figure out how to get on that wait list. So welcome, Idayat. We are so excited to meet you officially.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. To be here today, I'm like jumping up and down, but still in my chair.
I know those internal like jumpies are the best jumpies. So I know that I think we've come on a live for you before when you were kind of newer to Instagram, and it feels like a long time ago, maybe during COVID that happened. But since then, like I have loved seeing all the products that came out. And for those people who don't know what an abaya is, it's essentially like the long loose dresses that you will see a lot of Muslim women wearing, and to have it turned into something that is part of our vernacular, part of our culture in the West, and fusing that together with modest Muslim clothing. I mean, that is like the greatest thing in the world. And, you know, I think Zeba actually met last year in Spain, somebody who's creating her own hip hop line of modest Muslim wear. And it also includes like a sweatshirt abaya. It's a little bit different than Idayat, the one that you make. But I'm just like, look at this. This is amazing. The young kids are doing it. So we must be doing something right. Like you're so ahead of the game by having created this. And it is, again, I was telling Idayat, like my cups are already loose because her name is on the cup. So nobody has to look at the tag on your neck. So it's really good. They're like grabbing my hoodie, trying to look. And I'm like, no, you can just look over here. So then they yank my wrist looking at it and trying to read the embroidery on there so they can order. So I love the product. I am in it all the time. It is like
She
right
really
there
is.
on the top of my closet because I've decluttered my closets. So only the essentials are there. And that is my warm essential. And I think it's really, really important. So I digress. Idayat, we like to kick off the podcast by asking you a little bit about your mom's story, whatever you're comfortable sharing, if that includes stuff about your kids and your momming philosophy.
Okay, so a little bit about my mom's story. I became a mom when I was 25, after graduating college. And back in Nigeria, we moved from Nigeria to the States. I think it's 8 years ago now. So my first mom experience was crazy because I labored for
Aw.
3 days straight. And I eventually got a CS, yeah, cesarean section. But it was like I was not even myself, and
Mhm.
it kind of like gave me a trauma, and I was just
Yes.
so scared to get pregnant again. And but I did it again. You know how that goes. Like
Yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah,
scared,
you
you
but it's
forget
gonna.
forget.
subhanAllah. Holy trauma. Like, oh, we're back. Crap.
Right, and I did it again and again and again and again. So I have four amazing.
Oh,
No,
Mashallah.
yeah, I had 5 pregnancies. I have 4 kids. I lost one,
I'm
and
sorry.
my third one was also a twin. I lost one, then I gave birth to one, and it's been an amazing journey. Like I love being a mom. Since I was little, people saw it in me that I loved because I loved carrying kids, play. Even if it's your kid, I don't care if that kid is crying. I'm gonna figure out how the kid is gonna stop crying because I'm not gonna take it back to the mom because I want to
Oh.
be the I want to be the mom. So when I got married and I had my first child, my cousins were like, "We knew you were gonna have a child like super super quick because you were already like a ch- a
A
mom."
mom.
Yeah. And my mom philosophy is really simple. Like I believe there is no one way to be a mother, right?
mhm.
And I believe it doesn't matter how hard we try, we're always gonna have that mom guilt of not doing it perfectly. But I feel like we should give ourselves more grace. As a mom, I feel like we
Yes.
don't give ourselves grace enough. Like we're always beating ourselves down for doing something not perfect. But lately, I don't know, maybe because I'm a little older now, I'm on the fourth level. I'm like, I keep telling my husband, you cannot satisfy these kids. We can only try our best. They're
Yes.
going to keep on asking for more, just like we ask for more.
Mhm.
Like the moment you get onto one stage, you're asking for something else. Yeah, they're gonna keep on asking. All we have to do is do our best. Then our mind will be at peace because he's like I just want to give them. I don't want them to lack anything. I'm like, mm-mm, mm-mm.
It's and that's the great thing because it's actually not our duty to make
Mm,
everything or give them everything. It's
mm,
really truly our duty to guide them. That's the
mm.
only thing we physically have to do, and everything else is a bonus. I mean, that's this, and the best gift we can give our children is to prioritize and take care of ourselves and be the
Mm.
best version of ourselves. And I feel like Islam is very conducive to that. And the fact that you figured this out so early is amazing.
Yeah, and I feel like we talk to our kids a lot and we share so much information and we tell them what they should and shouldn't do, but they really don't take that serious. What they do take serious is what we do on a daily basis and what they see us do. So they're like a sponge, and everything they
Yes.
see us do, they just suck it up and they disregard most of the things we tell them, and they, because it's a routine for us too, they see it every day for the rest of their lives until they leave the home. It's just like second to them, so I see them mimicking me. So it actually, being a mom has holded me responsible to be the better version of myself because I know these little humans are looking at me. So I have to do self-care. So when they get married, they'll remember to take care of themselves. I have to get up and do exercise. So even in their lowest, they're not, oh, mom used to take care of herself. Maybe I should stand up and do
Yes.
something for myself. And of course, I'm from an African background. Where I come from, kids are not allowed to express themselves freely. Like they'll shut you down pretty quickly. And it's the opposite for me in this house. Like my mom looks at me weird sometimes because she lives with me, but I feel like I just want to give them that space. I feel like I've molded the African and the American culture, Islamic number one, African and the American together, and kind of like creating our little culture in our house. Not too much of anything. Like you're gonna talk, but you're not gonna talk bad. Right. But I'm going to give you a safe space to express yourself respectfully. I'm not going to shut you down. You're not going to be extreme whatsoever. Whatever you want to do, I believe in modesty. Just do the best you can. Don't be extreme. Don't even be extreme with your religion. Allah doesn't want us to be extreme with our religion. Don't be extreme with your books. Give yourself a break. My first child says she wants to be a pediatric ophthalmologist.
Ooh, I love that.
Nice.
When she grows up, and she's just so into it. She follows all those channels on TikTok. She's a nerd. She's a nerd.
Dr. What is it? Glaucomfecken?
Yes. Oh my God.
Totally.
She loves watching those surgeries that irritate. It doesn't freak her out at all.
Are so gross.
It's so fun to her. She's like, "Mommy, watch." I said, "No."
You're like, "No, thank you. Cannot watch this."
Yeah, but I always remind her that don't forget, you have to enjoy what you do, and don't be that doctor that will not have a life. Like I want you to work in somewhere where you can go in 9 a.m. and leave 5 p.m. Be like, "Mom, can we have a date or go out with a date with your friends or with your husband?" I want you to have a life and actually enjoy life. Don't enslave yourself to. I always tell her that because she's a very serious body, just like me.
Aww.
So
you know.
So I know. So yeah, that's my philosophy is just, first of all, my religion is everything we go by in this house. It always has, I don't care what Africa says when it comes to Islam. Whatever Islam says is what we're going by. And just do the best you can, believe in yourself and be yourself so your kids can learn how to be themselves. Your kids are going to see your highest and they're going to see your lowest. Like my kids do not like it when me and my husband are arguing, but I need to tell them that this is part of life.
Yes.
Like this is real. Like my husband would be like, "No, don't let us argue in front of them." I said, "Why not?" So then they're going to have this vision that my mom and my dad, they had a perfect life. And as soon as they fall into an argument with their spouse, it's like, "No, I'm backing out. I never saw this before." A little bit of this, a little bit. We have to let them know that this is life. Like, and this is how life is. I just like in our house, just be yourself. When it's going smooth, we all know when we have a little bit to go, we explain to them, this is what happened. And this is my thought. And this is your thought. And sometimes they're like, "Mom, why are you being like that to that?" And I have to explain that this is what happened. And our dad, you didn't do that. And sometimes they'll be the judge.
They're participating. That's interesting.
Sometimes they'll be the judge. And we just take one day at a time and put God first.
Alhamdulillah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think when you're talking about like that autonomy and that, ability to critically think and see and mimic, good behavior is like, that's ultimate. I learned that late in the game. But alhamdulillah, I'm trying every day. And I tell my kids, I'm working really hard at this. And on that note, like when we were growing up, like we always saw like starving models, and that was like the standard for beauty. So your models look like us. They look like normal women. So was that intentional on your part, or was that something you did without thinking because you were creating a line for normal women?
No, it was very intentional, and it remains to be very, very intentional. And it's weird because it's the opposite in Africa.
Interesting.
We like, even when you're too skinny, they're like, "Are you sick? Like, do you have food at home?
With you?
Like, do you need food? Like, is there something wrong? Like, where's your flesh? Like,
we need that."
So when I came to America, it was like a culture shock because to me, being thick is a compliment.
Yes.
Because when they're describing a thick person, they'll say the thick person, they have a thicker neck and they have like rings on their necks, so they don't need necklaces. They have a thick body, so when you hug them, they're really warm. Like the way they describe a thick person, you will fall in love with being thick.
Wow.
But I come here and you tell somebody they're thick and they bust into tears. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I had to kind of like learn really quick that it's the opposite here. And then I do my own part, even at work as a nurse. I tell people, so where you come from, a lot of them are black African Americans. Where you come from, thickness is beauty. They get really excited and they want to learn more. I'm telling you, just being thick is, to us, is beautiful. You have a full face, maybe you have a dimple. They'll describe even an open teeth. Back in Africa, it's part of beauty. Here, you want to close it up. It's just opposite. I feel like intentionally they just pick all these opposite things to make us feel less of ourselves. And so my models are very intentionally plus size, and I'm always posting, always giving information. Even my reels, like, I always want to remind people that don't let anybody create any standard for you. Beauty comes in different shapes, different heights, different sizes, not the shape of the nose, not the size of, not your height, not anything. It comes in various, and you can all be classified as beautiful as long as you see yourself to be beautiful.
I absolutely love that. And I love that empowering message, which is kind of the segue to my question. Like, why don't you tell us a little bit about Empower Her, and maybe a success story or 2 or 3 that you can share with us? Because I love that you're changing the narrative about modest fashion, what is comfortable, and what actually beauty is. And to your point, beauty starts within.
Yes. So, Empower Her, I started it, I think it's about to be 2 years now. And what happened was I just sat down one day and I remembered my story. I think a lot, like my mind is always like racing. And I was thinking about how I started my business. And I remember that I started my business when we moved to the United States and we had nothing. We had to start all over again with 2 toddlers and 1 baby.
Oh my goodness.
And I learned how to sew. I've always loved fashion. I feel like I inherited it because my family, you have to look cute. You don't even have a choice. If you step up out of their drive, what's wrong with you? Even my grandma, right? My grandma will be like, "Where are your eyeliners? Why is your face so? Are you okay? Do you need money?
Yeah.
I give you money."
We were born on the wrong continent.
I know.
And if you let your hair out and you don't make your hair, she's like, "Why didn't you make your hair? Do you need money to make your hair?"
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it's like you always have to look good where I come from. So it was never like I'm going to look, it was never a question. You have to look good. And because when I came to the United States, I started wearing my hijab when I came to the United States, mind you. And it came from the fact of me just looking at Muslim reverts of how they embrace Islam, and me being a born Muslim, taking Islam for granted. I'm like, wow. I haven't been doing a good job at all. I had to do self-evaluation and I had to take inventory of myself. I was like, okay, I need to get a step ahead. What else can I do first of all, I would love for people to see me as a Muslim, because right now people don't. So that's how I started wearing my hijab. But back to the Empower Her. How did I get my very first sewing machine? Somebody bought it for me. So I tell people I started my business with $0. And I feel like I should be able to do the same to others. A lot of times we talk about, and I'm not saying these are terrible situations as well, but we also have silent situations too that are as terrible. Like we have earthquakes, we have floods all around the world. But I feel like a lot of times people don't share what Africa suffers most from, which is poverty. Yeah. And I'm telling you, poverty, even though it's a slow killer, it kills people every day, because when you don't eat right, you don't have a balanced diet, you don't have access to the hospital. Yeah. When you're death at childbirth is ridiculous in Africa. Like people die unnecessarily. Okay. And it's all because of poverty. They don't have the finances. The government does not help whatsoever. I pray they become better one day, but as of right now, they're only for themselves. So the people that don't have, they really suffer. Now, coming down to the people that suffer, the people that suffer most, guess who? The women.
Yeah, I was going to say women.
Especially in Islam, because they're in the house, their husband is supposed to be providing for them. The husband is doing whatever. And guess who's, when the woman suffers, guess who's going to suffer too?
The children.
Right. So now we have mothers and children that are suffering. And I try to open people's eyes up, like, this poverty, I feel like we need to elevate the women. Let's find something for them to do. If they can learn how to sew and we can buy them, a lot of them, we have thousands of them that I have a waiting list now of people that want to get sewing machines because they have gone to the sewing classes, but they don't have money to buy the sewing machine. And it's as easy as just getting that one sewing machine in your house. Even if you have a 1-bedroom, you can sew from anywhere. That's why I like sewing, and you can take it to any part of the world. So how about we buy sewing machines for them? I started with one person, and I think we're up to like 15 people that we've bought sewing machines for. And our target now, it was 1,000. I think we are up to like 3,000 now. So for this Ramadan, our target is going to be to get that, to buy machines worth $3,000 for women in Africa. And I have my sister at home and one of my friends that actually source out the people that need these machines. We make videos before we make delivery, because I believe in transparency, because another turn off for people sending money back home is, are they going to give it to the people that need it, or are they just going to put it in their pockets? Mm-hmm. So before they get the machine, they'll tell us the reason why they need the machine. After they get the machine, they make videos and pictures of the machine, and they start making their money, because back home you don't even need fabric to start, because people that want to sew, they'll bring their fabric.
Oh, because it's all custom.
Because it's all custom.
Beautiful.
So that was the reason why I started Empower Her, because somebody empowered me, and I just thought it was good for me to empower people right back.
That is such a beautiful inspo story for this charitable organization that you started now. But I guess we forgot to ask what your inspiration for sewing was, and how the heck did you learn all of these like mad sewing skills? Like, was it something that was taught in your family, or something that you taught yourself when you came over here?
Okay, so when I graduated high school, the first thing I wanted to do before going to college was to learn how to sew. But you know how they say it only takes one word for people to discourage you from whatever you want to do. Mm-hmm. Somebody told me back then that sewing, like fashion designing, is so hard. Like, why do you want to go into it? And I was just discouraged, but it was always at the back of my head that I still want to learn this. I feel like, and this is what I tell to myself, I say this to my kids and to people that I mentor, that if they don't have two heads, they only have one head and one brain, and you have one head and one brain, I can do it too. Like I can do it too. If I put my whole head in it, I can do it. So after graduating college, I had kids. Then my husband has like his first cousins here in the United States, and his cousin's wife was reminding us that every year, I don't know if Americans know this, but every year the American government does what we call American visa lottery. Oh. It's like a lottery, but you don't pay money. It's $0. Then you go and fill a form. If the computer picks you, then you get a permanent resident to the United States.
Oh, I didn't know they were still doing that. Okay.
They still do it. Mm-hmm. So, and she was like reminding us, you guys need to go and try this. I believe you're going to win. You guys, I was like, okay, let's just honor her. And we didn't even do it with our whole chest. I was like, let's just honor her and go and get these forms filled online. And we did get the forms filled. And a couple of months later, the USCIS sent us an email that we got granted, me, my husband, and my kids. I was like, wow, okay. So that's how we, so before that time, I was thinking to myself, now that we're moving to the United States, I'm going to start a whole new life. We have everything here. Now we're going to have to sell it and start all over again where we're going to. This is going to be really hard. And it's also going to be tough on my kids, So I'm going to have to be a stay-at-home mom for a while. But I do not like being idle. I don't like just not doing something for myself. It makes me feel bad. Like I don't want to feel like I'm just living for my kids. I won't
love
feel
this.
fulfilled. So I was like, okay, I've always wanted to learn how to sew. Maybe this is the time I should go and learn how to sew. So when I'm in the house with the kids, I can just be playing with the machine. And if I get how to sew it, I can be making it for my community people. That was my intention. My community people. And my husband was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And I literally just had our baby because we came 4 months when she was born. Like a month after I had her, I started learning. I learned how to sew within like 2 to 3 months.
Wow.
I got the basics, and then I started training myself with the rest. So all these modest designs that I'm making now is me out of I want to be cute, but of course
And independent.
And I also want to be relevant to the society because I'm not in Africa anymore. I'm in the United States. I want it to have a United States feel, but a modest feel as well, so that it can be like I'm not the only one out wearing that African outfit each time I go out.
Yeah.
So that's how I started making it. And you know, when you make something and you post it or your friends see you, who made this? And I said, I did. Can you make me one?
Yeah.
Are you sure you made this? That's how it all started. That's how it all started.
I love that origin story. That's awesome. So you started also online offering sewing classes. No, sorry, in person, right? You offer sewing classes and they sell out really, really quickly. So is there on the horizon any possibility for online classes for those of us who would love to learn to sew? Because it's also been something that's in the back of my mind. But, everybody was like, you don't have time. And I told myself the story that I don't have time. And so I've never learned how to do anything more than a button.
Okay.
And even that I was told I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah, I feel like sewing is like technical. I know people do online sewing classes, but I just feel like it just doesn't feel right to me. Like I won't be able to come to your machine and help you fix that.
Yeah.
I feel like something will be missing. I don't know. Maybe I'm not getting it right, but I feel like something, if it's not in person, something will be missing. So that's why the only thing that I have done right now is pre-recorded videos of how I make stuff. So if you already have like an idea of how to sew, how to use your sewing machine, it'll be easy for you to go and get my pre-recorded videos in the link in my Instagram bio. I have different designs there. But if it's like starting from scratch, I feel like I have to be with the person.
I love that.
I would love, here's an idea, just because I'm pushing you, because I really want this. Like, set up that stupid bobbin. Like, I hate the bobbin. Like, it ruins my life. So if you can teach me how to use my machine, which I've, by the way, had for 15 years, because I was going to sew everything for my son. He's going to turn 15 in May, and I have sewed him nothing. The last 15 years, because I can't work the stupid bobbin. So if you can teach me how to do that, like, that's the thing. All the women when we were growing up had a Singer sewing machine. So I thought that was something that needed to come with me, like in my wedding trousseau. So I had like a sewing machine on my wedding registry. I was like, well, women are supposed to have one. Like I'm going to eventually learn, right? So it still hasn't happened. I've been married 16 years, mashallah. So.
That's cute, mashallah. Yeah. I've been married 15 too.
Yeah, see, but you taught yourself the skill, and I still haven't learned. So
yeah, learn how to use your sewing machine will be actually easier, kind of, because we're just in one place, and I'm showing you parts. It's something I could think about.
See, and you can sell that. I would totally buy that course. More ideas.
Like more ideas for the people that always thought they were going to like. So what I love to do is I watch all the like, whether it's Project Runway, or like I love watching those shows, and they have a new show. It's not new. It's in the second season. It's called The Hype, which is about streetwear fashion and like bringing people. And I just literally watch it. And my kids are like, why do you do that? I'm like, because for me, watching somebody be able to, it's such a tangible thing. It's an art form on some level. So I really respect when people can do that. And the fact that you're trying to pay it forward to other people to empower them is amazing. And I can't wait to see the link for Empower Her, because I know I will be trying to donate donate a sewing machine, mark my words, from the Hudson family, because we love to have these types of initiatives. But you mentioned your family. It sounds like they're such an integral part to your life. What, if any, role do they play in your business now?
Okay, so everybody has their own little title. So my friend, my first child, oh my God, she sews better than me now. She just made herself a combat. We call it a combat pants. I don't know what you guys call it, but the pants that have like a lot of pockets.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cargo pants.
Cargo pants. Mm-hmm. So she made it for her school project. And she told me like her teacher will be, because she's doing sewing as part of her classes. And her teacher will be like, Robia, can you get that right? She said, no, I think I can. But she's using an industrial machine, but she's acting like she doesn't
know, because she's like, I'm going to get an A in
yes,
this
and
class.
when she's done, and she was done making the bag, the teacher was like, are you sure this is your first time sewing? She said, no, this is not my first time sewing.
Oh, I love that.
So she just, and you know how hard it is to get like pants that are actually big and baggy to fit. Because she's tall, she's 5'10".
Mashallah.
And she's tall, she's 5'10", and she's thick. So she needs like extra fabric to make it actually modest. And she's very, very particular about her modesty. She doesn't want leggings. She's very particular about her modesty. So she make this cargo pants and clean. You need to see the stitches and everything. So she's my she's my assistant. She does a lot of assistant jobs for me. I don't even know how many titles she have, because she'll give me ideas, and she sews a lot. Like when I cut, her and my mom, I also taught my mom how to sew. All her life, she wanted to know how to sew. She lived with her aunt that never sent her to school, never sent her for a trade. She was just there to take care of her own kids. Mm-hmm. So when she got older and she moved to the United States, when I invited her to the United States and I started sewing, she started sitting with me and she started learning, and then she started catching on things. So I started teaching her. So her and my daughter, that's why I tell people it's never too late to learn a trade. My mom learned how to sew in her late 60s. She's 70 now. So if you want to do it, and she's a go-getter too. She's very smart and she's a go-getter, and she like when you tell her you want to do something, she's like, go for it. You can do it. Like she won't even think twice about it. And she's always supportive of my crazy ideas. It doesn't matter what the idea is. She's like, you could do that. So she helps me sew. My mom helps me sew. I'm now teaching my 11-year-old how to sew. My 9-year-old about to turn 9. She also sews a little bit. And the exciting part is they started using the scraps that I have to make modest clothing for American Dolls.
Oh,
that's so nice.
So, and she got an email from one of the institutions here in Cleveland about how they want to fund a small business, like a high schooler. And so we sat together and we wrote the application of how she makes modest clothing for, and there's no representation of modest clothing on dolls. And we know how much impact dolls are to girls. Yes. So she wants to be that change, so she can see when she goes into stores, she wants to see dolls that look like her, that dressed like her. And she won. She was the only student that won the $1,000 grant.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of her.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't
How old is she?
She's 14.
Mashallah.
And she didn't just win the grant, but they also gave her a business mentor to guide her through.
That's the big thing. I love those programs. Absolutely love those programs.
Oh my gosh. May she have lots of success and barakah and like change the world, inshallah, because it sounds like she already is in the culture. Like, I love it. I'm already sad about not being born in Africa, but at least I can come to your house now. And be like, right. I'm going to be a person. I'm moving in for the summer. That's what we can
Don't give her any like segue, because she will.
Don't invite me, because I will show up.
She'll be like, I'm here.
Oh, you're actually coming? Yes, I'm actually coming.
That's fun. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Family for us is like, we just assume like we're part of yours. So
mashallah.
And as such, because you've joined our family, you were kind enough to offer a product to one of our listeners today. So can you describe what it is that you plan to give away to one listener?
So I just came out with my Cover Me Cute activewear because I see a lot of sisters that say, I want to go to the gym, but I don't want to go in leggings. I want to go to the gym, but I wish I could have an active abaya. So today I'm giving an active abaya with an active hijab. This hijab is a full coverage. It will cover your chest, and you can also tie it at the side. So when you're jumping up or you're lifting weights or you're turning upside down, it's going to stay in place. So whoever wins today, I'm giving them the whole fit. So you can now, you don't need to take your hoodie and tie it around your waist anymore.
Wait, okay.
You can wear your leggings with your t-shirt and just put the abaya on and do your squats. You'll be fine.
And there's certain things I won't do in the gym because I know my hijab is going to flip up.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. Sometimes I can't even make sajda in public because I know
Me
my
too.
hijab is going to flip up. So this might be something that I could use outside of the gym.
But you're not allowed to win.
I'm not allowed to win.
You're not allowed to win.
We're not allowed to win it.
For the audience members who are listening and are interested in getting your beautiful new active abaya and the active hijab, there is a code word they're going to have to email to salam@mommyingwhilemuslim.com. Or they can DM it to us on Instagram at Mommyingwhilemuslim podcast. And that code word, Idayat, is?
Mommying.
Mommying. So that's MOMMYING. Chosen by Cover Me Cutie's founder, Idayat Sambo. And we cannot wait for, to receive all of these emails and DMs. It's first come, first serve. Yes, so the first one we, publish every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So as soon as you hear this, send it in with your mailing address. And we're going to give that to you, Idayat, so you can mail it out directly to the winner. And we are so excited and so grateful that not only are you giving away a beautiful product, but, anybody who wants to can go shop on Cover Me Cutie, all one word. And cutie is spelled Cutee, not like those little oranges we put in the lunch boxes, guys, but Cover Me Cute. Or is that how they're spelled? No, that's with an I. This is covermecutie.com. And you can go shop on there, or you can go directly to @CoverMeCutie on Instagram, and you can click on her link in bio and you can shop from there. You can find out about Empower Her over there, and you can find out about her in-person sewing classes. And then soon there's going to be a tab for like how to fix that stupid bobbin. So we look forward to all of that. We're so grateful that you came on today. But before we leave, we have one final segment. That is called, Zeba, do you want to introduce it?
It's called Rapid Fire, where we kind of throw questions at you and there's no wrong answer.
Okay.
And we set 90 seconds on the timer, which I think this one's going to do right now.
I'm setting the timer right
and
now.
Then you just say the first thing that comes to your head. So the first question we always ask is, what is a book you're currently reading or that you would recommend for somebody to read?
I'm not currently reading any book, but I will recommend, what's this name? Michelle Obama's book.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Becoming.
That's such a great book. Definitely in my list as well.
I think it's now also got a show on Netflix.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I just saw it on Netflix. It's either coming or out already, but I think it's an interview-based show. So if anybody wants to look at that, that would be awesome. I am going to ask you, what is the last song you downloaded?
Ooh.
The last song. Okay, so it's a song that it's a Nigerian nasheed from my brother. I asked him to custom it from home and then send it to me.
Okay, well now you're going to have to share that.
So we can put it in the show notes. Exactly.
I make it a point. I don't let my kids listen to music during Ramadan. I'm like, guys, you need to fill your ears and your brains and your hearts with good stuff, Islamic stuff only. So we're going to do nasheed. So I'm going to add this to our playlist as well. All right, Zeba, your turn.
So what is, of course, when you're a fashion designer, I'm imagining all of your fits and your outfits are like your babies. But if you had to choose one where you're like, this is my go-to outfit that I recommend everybody getting, what is
Aisha
that
hoodie.
one?
Aisha
hoodie.
Aisha
She
hoodie.
didn't even answer the question. That is her answer.
You're not going to buy anything else. You get the Aisha hoodie.
Aisha hoodie.
Yeah, love it. Why do you like that so much?
It's contemporary, like it's up to date.
Yeah.
It's very modest. It's
Yeah.
super comfortable. It's therapeutic because it's so comfortable. It's like the first thing people say when they buy it and they wear it is, I just want to live in it. Like that's the same comment people, can I just live in it? Like, I just want to live in it.
Yeah.
So it's super
I get
comfortable.
really sad when I have to wash it. So I've only washed it like 3 times.
So I know what I'm getting Uzma for Eid. I'm getting her a second one so she has something else to be putting on.
Okay,
we'll
question
talk offline. We'll talk.
Yeah,
offline.
definitely. My question is, and this is going to be our last question. If you could ask Allah one question, what would it be?
If I could ask Allah one question, I'll ask him, can I be beside him in Jannah?
Oh, subhanAllah. That's smart. Inshallah, you will, especially because you're making so many women happy and empowering them. And like, what I love is that you're squeezing every last drop of talent you have, in addition to your talent of mothering, mashallah. Like I was just giving a lecture yesterday, a little talk, and I was like, when we're buried, like we want to be buried empty. Like every last talent has been squeezed out of us. We used all of the gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us before we died. That's how I think we can die happy.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
And you just made me cold because each time people ask me questions like that, like it's like I'm already envisioning myself in front of Allah and it just overwhelms me and it brings me tears.
Oh, I love it. Like half of that is just envisioning it, right? Because then you know it will manifest because Allah has probably already written it for you. So you already know, inshallah, somewhere deep in your subconscious. So inshallah, make dua for us. We're going to be making so much dua for you and looking out for your 10 new sweatshirt abayas that are coming out. I'm so excited. So we're super duper excited. And they sell out fast, guys.
Yes,
so you want to go to covermecutie.com and get on. You have a wait list for them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So get on the wait list and inshallah, she will not cut you off the wait list when she runs out.
People get really mad. They get really mad. Yeah, like, how? I'm saying, I'm sorry, but
I waited a long time. And then as soon as it opened, I was like, bam, I'm getting it. You know, I waited.
True story,
yeah,
everybody.
True story.
So it's just for everybody to remember, the code word is mommying. So please make sure as soon as you listen to this, because it's done, whoever's the number one person, whether it's DM or email, we will be checking both as soon as this episode drops. And we look so forward to featuring you on our favorite things.
Jazakallah khair, Idayat.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Our trusted partner, Guidance Residential, the #1 U.S. Islamic home financing provider, is offering an exciting Ramadan special. This Ramadan, take advantage of their home purchase savings program by following 3 easy steps. Learn how to do that when you experience the guidance difference and learn more at gr.link/Ramadan-FB-MWM-MAR23.